Welcome to the channel today. We're filming this in the garage because it's windy outside. You probably wouldn't be able to hear me. Today's video on the Scram 411 is going to be about this windshield. This is a Puig. Am I saying that correctly? I have no idea. Front screen. This came with the bike when I purchased it. It was attached and I took it off because I wanted to start from kind of scratch with this bike and then slowly add the things back on and review them as I went. And so this has been reinstalled today for testing purposes. We'll see if I like it. I have not ridden it yet with this on, but I'm just going to show you how it attaches here. It's very simple. Two brackets that go to the handlebar. All you do is loosen this one bolt, has a captive nut down in here in the bottom, and then it releases both this clamp and this clamp here. So there's two of those. And on the front, it does touch the cowling, and it fits kind of odd. Not really super impressed with this. You get a gap here that I guess is supposed to be there. I don't know. On this side, I had to add some rubber to keep it from damaging the paint on the cowl because it didn't go down far enough. So depending on how you install this, you can install it back farther that it doesn't touch that, but then my fear was that it would vibrate. So that's how I have it. That's how the original owner had it. So we're going to try that. I did not get instructions with this since it was already on the bike. So hopefully that is how it's supposed to be installed. If I'm wrong, go ahead and comment down below. And we'll take it out and do a live ride if the GoPro cooperates, and I'll be able to tell you what I think of it while I'm riding it. Let's just start, however, with how it is without the windshield. This bike at 65 to 70 miles an hour, you do begin to feel some wind blast in your chest area. I'm 5'11". Really no problems with any kind of buffeting. I don't experience any of that, but you get some wind in your chest. Now what I'll say is at the same speed on my Triumph Bonneville, I get a massive wind blast to my chest, and there's 70 miles an hour worth of wind trying to push me off that bike on the highway at 70, which is why I don't ever like to ride it on the highway. So that is just one of the differences between the two bikes. You know, this headlamp and cowling and the instruments all matter in how that wind flow goes over and into you as you ride. So this should change things quite a bit, and I'm a little suspicious that it might cause helmet buffeting. So we're going to see. Stay tuned. All right, we're at 60. It's definitely changed the wind characteristics as you would expect. I'm not getting anything on my main torso up until maybe right around where my neck and shoulder area is. I can still feel some there. Definitely complete calm behind the windshield. Let's go a little faster. 65. Get her up to 70 here as we crest the hill. Alright, so this is 70. Now again, it's a windy day, so this may be a little unfair, but I can definitely feel the wind coming around the corners of the windshield, and it's hitting me right on my shoulder area, front of my shoulder and my upper arms, and I'm getting more increased air pressure, I think, my upper chest right there, right in my collarbone area. 70. If anything, I would say that this should be maybe a little wider to try to distribute the air out farther. So, surprised I'm not getting wind buffeting on my helmet. I am feeling it on my shoulders. Down here at the bottom, but I don't really feel any wind coming up from between the windshield and the headlight. So we're at 70-ish. Pulling down the hill. Now, as I said, the wind's right in the center of my chest. It is pushing me a bit back, but not with the force that it wants to rip my hands off the handlebars like I have with my Triumph. So there is some wind management coming off this front nacelle. Much more wind on my helmet, but I have the GoPro mounted at the top of the helmet, so that's going to create drag. But I didn't notice probably the same level of drag with the windscreen installed. At speed, I can tell there's definitely a difference. The wind goes from your chest out to your shoulder blade area. I think it would probably prove less tiresome on a longer highway journey, because I think this wind in the shoulders thing probably isn't that as annoying. It doesn't require as much effort to lean forward as you do without it. I was surprised by the lack of buffeting to the helmet. I thought there would be some of that, but it must get the airflow up at a decent enough height that it doesn't really affect it. With the GoPro mounted on the top of my helmet, which is a dumb place admittedly for it. I did that years ago and have never remembered to get a newer mount. But that kind of skews it a little bit. But yeah, I would say that the Puig windscreen is effective. My only criticism would be that I think it should be a little wider so that it helps the wind clear your shoulders. But if you're going to be doing a lot of higher speed riding, interstate or more open two lanes and things like that, we're going to be going 65 to 70 miles an hour. I think it could be beneficial. Would I buy one? Probably not. And it's because of the riding style and this motorcycle. I think that this bike generally is not going to be used at speeds that would make it a necessity, at least for me. And the places that I ride are generally more roads like this. I don't mind the wind blast on this bike versus my Triumph Bonneville. Now, that's also to say that I wouldn't put one on my Triumph Bonneville because that bike I also generally don't ride at speeds over 65 miles an hour. But the Bonneville could use it much more than this machine. also don't care for the looks of windshields on a lot of bikes. This is no exception, although I don't think that Puig looks terrible. I think it fits the bike. It's kind of mimicking the Himalayan windscreen to some degree, so it doesn't look completely out of place. But I like my Scram to look more naked, and I suspect that I will probably leave that windshield off for the most part. I may try it again. Since it came with the bike, I have nothing invested in it, which is nice, but I might try it again. But maybe if I did take it on a multi-day trip or something and was planning on doing some more higher speed riding, perhaps then I would. But the wind on this doesn't bother me. But I will say that having taken the screen off now, I do notice the air hitting me in the chest a lot more than I did before I even put it on. So I'm not sure that's a definitive answer for any of you, but at least you kind of get an idea of what it's capable of, what it will do, and what kind of wind buffeting problems you might experience with it. I hope that was helpful. Comments and questions below, please. As always, I thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Scram 411 content. Take care.